how important is it for you from your point of view as a legal expert in terms of having those facilities open?
Yeah, people might argue that there's always people on standby,
Yes.
even when there's facilities. And now we are specifically referring to the GBV units. Even if the staff is not 24 hours at the premises, they might argue and say, but there's police stations that you can go and get assistance. There's always somebody, a social worker on standby, and so on. My issue with closing these GBV units are, if you look at the abuse, if you look at the rape cases, if you look at the violence, the GBVs that are happening, most of these incidences are after hours and during weekends or over holidays, where our kids are home, they are more exposed and so on. So I will say that having these units be open 24/7, that is already a step in the right direction. Because say for instance, if I'm at home and I don't have the standby officer or the standby social worker's number, and I cannot reach the mobile police station or the police, the nearest one, how, if I knew that that unit is open, I will immediately make a plan to be taken there. We have rape victims that needs urgent attention. People that you know that needs medical examinations, that needs doctor's attention, that needs, social work support and so on. So for me, it's a thing of prioritizing. We should stop complaining about we are under resourced, we don't have the resources. We are crying when murders and rape and killings are happening. But we have to move to the more practical solution. Open the units 24 hours, 7 days a week, so that we feel there's a unit that I can go to. And I think that is very crucial in Namibia.
In terms of the repealing of the law, is it some of the new recommendations that you are um, so recommending in the new act?
Is it now the Domestic Violence
Yeah,
Act?
yeah.
Yeah. Look, the Domestic Violence Act was amended in 2022. I don't think it needs more strengthening. It's more the enforcement part of the execution of the law. And this has been something that Namibia has been crying for years. We have good laws, but how do we enforce them? We should not wait for things to happen and then we start uniting, we start demonstrating, we start marching all over the place. We have to hold government accountable. And this is a plight that affects all of us. Don't wait until it happens to you or your close family or your close friends or your colleagues or somebody that you know, and then you want to take action. We really need safety. And safety in the public, safety at schools, safety at homes. We have to address it. The law is addressing all these things. So I don't think there's loopholes in the law. It's really how do we enforce? Because we are all service providers of these laws.
Finally, you alluded to a very good point of saying that sometimes, let's say an underage child is raped, for example, there is, we call it a leeway or grace period, that within a period of 20 years, that child or that person can still report a case of rape that once occurred. Please make reference to that so that followers can follow you and hear correctly from the office now in regards to that.
Yeah, rape is quite a serious crime, especially if it's committed against a child who's the most vulnerable in the communities. So I think we must know that, educate the nation to say that even if rape happens 5 years ago or 10 years ago, you can still open a rape charge. Maybe you were not in a position that you could open or you didn't have the support system and so on. Our rape act is very, very strongly drafted. And I think we must we must say that when it comes to children, somebody else can also open a rape case. It doesn't have to be the child. And obviously there must be interventions from the social worker side. So we are saying the law is perfectly drafted in terms of opening cases of rape that happened quite a while ago. So I think people must know that, people must be aware of this and say that although it will be more challenging to prove in a court of law a rape that happened 5 years ago instead of reporting a rape that happened yesterday. It's two different scenarios. But we have to understand the law did not close down to say that, okay, We cannot help you because you were raped a long time ago. We can still investigate because one thing about rapists, there's a cycle of raping. You understand?
It's a pattern.
It's a pattern. So even if I did not speak out, he or she is probably still doing it to other children, to other women, to other men, to other boys. So it's about stopping the perpetrator from proceeding. So I see it in that light. That person is probably still happening, doing it, and he has get away with this for such a long time. So please do report. You need assistance. The system can help. And yeah, I just want to encourage all rape victims.